Beautiful Monday morning that we've had, and Tanya bringing up a very good point during our commercial break right there. She asked me about, well, why KJALN? That is the airport code for Joplin Regional Airport, and you'll see why we put that up there here as we roll through our daily almanac. One thing I wanted to point out was our precipitation, mainly so since the beginning of the year, 37.86 inches. That is off 4/100ths, that's it, 4/100ths of an inch than what we would historically think that we would have. So we're right on par. But here's the interesting part. We switched that to KCNU, that's Martin Johnson Airport in Chanute, that's the airport code in Chanute, and this yearly total of 43.41 inches, that is 8 more inches than what we would historically expect. So that's pretty amazing that Joplin Regional off 4/100ths of an inch, yet 8 more inches throughout Chanute. And that's kind of been our whole thing this fall, just the amount of rain that we've seen pile up, especially for our western portions of southeast Kansas. 69 degrees as we go back to Joplin is where we stand right now over 7th and Range Line. We'll dive into the barometer here in just a little bit. The humidity very, very low, sitting at 39%. Speaking of 39s, that's exactly the temperatures that we saw down in the southern portion of the 4 states earlier this morning. Hard to believe, a 30-degree bump up in just about a matter of 5 hours. Very comfortable with high 60s, low 70s on the board, and the Skywatch Storm Tracker, even with the sweeping radar, not picking up a thing. Not only for us, the entire Midwest. And here's why. Because as the jet stream comes in off the Pacific right there, what we're seeing it do is formulate some low pressure systems, and they got that high that's stuck right there in the middle. But as it comes off the Pacific, what it's going to do is grab all this moisture and continually ride it up, because that front in between those two lows just wants to throw on the brakes, says, "Eh, bye, just stay right there along the Rockies." We're going to leave the Midwest alone for the next 48 hours. And also what that does, remember that dividing line? There was about, let's say right there. Let me go back and take a look at it. Oh, right there. Now look at our watches and warnings, because what do we have on top of that? Well, we've got elevated fire weather, because what that's doing is forcing all that moisture to stay just to the west of us. So you've got red flag warnings, fire warnings, a special weather statement even up in the upper plains. And while we don't have anything, still want everybody to be very, very careful should you be tempted to have to burn any outdoor brush, because look at these humidity rankings, as low as 19% right there in Denver, 33% in Joplin. You push all the way to the Atlantic coast and it is extremely dry. This afternoon, sunshine going to stick around, push us up into the high 70s, so about 4 or 5 degrees above where we'd normally be this time of year. We're going to see an uptick in the south wind. Hasn't been too bad as of late. We haven't picked up really a gust over 16 miles per hour, but we'll eventually get about 20 miles per hour later on in the afternoon. And then beginning about 6, 7 o'clock this afternoon, you're going to see some clouds roll in. That's not a bad thing, because we work up into the mid-70s. Clouds trap all that heat. We don't have to worry about those 30-degree temperatures that we had earlier this morning. There she is. Say, lock it in for early Tuesday morning. Tomorrow morning, mid-50s. Can't beat it. Clear out. More sunshine. Now, what do we got cooking on Wednesday? Well, look down to the bottom left-hand portion of your screen. A little Gulf moisture going to roll in, mainly along I-44. Very scattered shower activity to the point where we don't even hit the marginal level on the severe thunderstorm risk map. And no wind, no hail, and no accumulation to speak of, so we get to avoid those flooding concerns we had last week. Tanya, on the backside of that, really seasonable October temperatures on Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, well, that's when we'll be talking about a little nighttime rain for Saturday evening, carry us into Sunday, but the delightful 5 work and school days before we get there.
All right. Like you said, it's going to be a great week for doing stuff outside.
Great week to get outside. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Enjoying it.
Great week to get outside.
Not a bad weekend, too. All right. Thanks, Michael.